I'm Paul.
And I'm TJ.
And you're listening to the Good for Nothing podcast, brought to you by Potation Rotation. And this is the podcast where two good friends talk about nothing good, really. And we start with something and we hope to end with something. But if it really ends up being good for nothing, then we've done our jobs. And let me tell you something, TJ, I just switched phone providers. And as you knew going into this, the start of this podcast, I had a little bit of troubles. How long have you been with your phone provider?
A good couple of years now.
Yeah.
I'm with Verizon.
You're with Verizon, huh?
Yep.
Well, see, I had, this goes all the way back to when there was a company called Singular Wireless.
Yeah, I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, back when we had like those big honking flip phones. Well, you had a flip phone more recently. You kind of
Yes,
had yours.
did.
You had yours for quite a while before you got into the smartphone craze. But yeah, I had Singular Wireless. I know I had that for a while, way back in the day, like probably early 2000s or something. And then I went to US Cellular, and I was with them for a while. And then when I got married, we were on the same like AT&T plan. But then, some shit happened, crazy bitches going through divorces. I had to change my phone number. And when I changed my phone number, I changed back to US Cellular. And so I've been with US Cellular for the better part of 9 years at this point.
Wow.
Yeah. Really never had a lot of complaints, except that I know that they were kind of raping me as far as pricing goes. There was a point where I had a data cap, and and I know I was paying, unlimited talk and text, but I had like 2 gigs of data a month, and I was paying like close to $100, and I'm like, that's just not right.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so I wasn't under contract or anything, and a couple of years ago, I ended up kind of working out a deal with them where I got unlimited data, and they knocked $30 off my bill. But now I made the switch to Mint Mobile, which is Ryan Reynolds' cell phone company.
Oh,
and now my $75 a month phone bill will be going down to $25 a month. And if I don't use, I'm kind of like testing it for 3 months. And if I don't use all that, if I don't use all the data that comes with my plan, which I think is, I don't know, it's like 10 or 15 gigs, and then everything else is unlimited. Then after 3 months, they'll knock me down a tier, and that'll be like $20 a month. But it's prepaid, so you got to like pay for everything up front.
Okay.
Which is fine, because if I'm going to close out at the rest of the year for another 9 months, at $20 a month, that's like $180. That's 2.5 of my US Cellular bills. So that's a huge savings. And
yes, that is.
Yeah, and right now, with inflation and gas prices just absolutely, you might as well just stick the pump nozzle up your own ass and let it fuck you good. I gotta start making some cuts someplace, So one of the things, the other thing that I did too was I switched gyms. Even though I'm paying more for the gym, I'm not going out of my way to get there where I was before, which going out of your way to get to another gym is going to cost you gas money. And I think in the long run, even though my company pays for almost all my gym membership, I think I'm still going to be saving maybe $20 a month.
That's nice.
Yeah, just on the gas alone. So as of right now, you're talking, I just ended up recouping about $90 on average a month by just those 2 things. And then so that's good. But TJ, enough about me. How are you doing?
Well, I am doing good, except I found a couple of things out.
Hmm.
Well, first of all, Paul, you know how the 79 Flyer wasn't running?
And to
Because,
anybody listening out there, the 79 Flyer is the freeway flyer that goes to downtown Milwaukee, right?
yes, it is. Well, they were supposed to start up this month. So I was very excited because I have been driving downtown and parking at Northwestern Mutual's parking structure for a good couple of months now.
Right.
So I was very excited to hear and ecstatic to hear that they're returning. I find out the other day, due to our shortage of drivers, the 79 Flyer is not returning. And I'm not exactly sure what they don't know, have a date or anything when it's going to be returning.
Boy. Now, how much were you paying for that pass?
I think it was like $7, $8 a week.
$7, $8 a week. So benefit of the doubt, that's like $25 a month, right?
Yep.
And then from where you live to downtown and back, and with gas right now, that's going to cost you a lot more than $25 a month.
Yes, it is.
Oh, fuck. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I am pretty much going to and from downtown. I am going through about 8 gas a week.
Yeah.
Just driving.
Yeah. Well, that's what I go through, going to and from work, and then just hitting up some restaurants on the weekends, which, the other thing I think we're going to do, it's going to hit Heather probably a little bit more harder, is her and I are going to have to start, I do a lot of the driving, like 90% of it. We're gonna have to start alternating. So she's gonna have to cough up a little bit more for gas. Um, but that's hard for me to even do because I don't like being a passenger in the car. I mean, you know me, like every time we went somewhere, I almost always drove.
Yep.
I don't like other people driving. I don't know, man. I can't get past it. I try. And nowadays it helps to like just maybe stick my head in the phone, but even when I do that, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I need to like be watching how somebody else is driving because like, I get so nervous. It's fucking weird. So aside from the bus, did you have anything else that you said you had some things that you found out, or was that it?
Well, let's see. Let's see. Well, I mean, the bus is the main one that they're not going to be running again. Possibility they are going to start charging for parking at Northwestern Mutual.
You mean they won't pay for your own parking? They won't pay for their employees' parking?
No, what was going on is the parking structure was free because of COVID. Because originally everyone that was parking in the structure was paying monthly to park. So I find out that eventually everyone that's going to be parking there is going to be having to pay to park again. But I did find out there is a lot that's like kitty corner from where the parking garage is that I could possibly park in for free.
Possibly. You're not sure?
Yeah, right. They're not sure, but someone told me they're going to find out about that.
Man, you think a multi-billion-dollar insurance company could pay for their employees' parking?
You would think.
I applied for a job down there. It was at a law firm, I think, or something. I can't remember. This was before I took my current job. And so it was a little over a year ago. And they paid for their employees' parking at the nearest structure down there. Because that was one of the things with me, is like, if I'm going to work downtown, and that's quite a drive that's even farther, where I live, compared to where you live. That's quite a hike for me if that would have happened. So one of the important things was I don't want to pay for parking down there. So I didn't get the job, obviously, but yeah, they paid for their employees' parking. I always thought that companies did that for people downtown. I'm kind of surprised to hear that.
Oh, they don't. I mean, everyone that's parking there, apparently it's a monthly parking thing. They're paying once a month.
Yeah, boy. And speaking of downtown, for anybody interested, if you haven't visited yet, and or you have, and it's been a while, the Bronze Fonz has gotten a little bit of a cleanup and makeover and reinstallation downtown at the Riverwalk. So if you have not seen the Bronze Fonz yet, he is all shiny and new like. Go out and visit the Bronze Fonz, downtown Milwaukee Riverwalk. It's been down there, oh boy, since 2009, I believe. So almost 13 years now. 13 years, I think, this August.
And, oh, it's been that long?
Yeah, I believe that date's correct, only because that I, at the time, bailed from work to go down there.
Yes.
When they had the unveiling, the big reveal with pretty much all the surviving cast members of Happy Days, except for Scott Baio, because he's kind of a freaky weirdo. Nobody gives a shit about Scott Baio. And of course, Ron Howard, who at the time I believe was shooting Angels and Demons. I always get the Robert Langdon, the Da Vinci Code. So Da Vinci Code, the film, was the first one, and I think Angels and Demons was the sequel, even though that's not the order of the books. Because yeah, they got them all. So I think Angels and Demons was the second one. He was filming that at the time, so he didn't show up. But we had everybody, including Laverne and Shirley. So there's like what, 1, 2, 3. Gary Marshall's like 4 or 5 of those people that I saw back in 2009 that are dead now. But it was good, and they had they did a Happy Days the musical. They did like a couple numbers from that, which I saw, and it's a shame that didn't take off, because it was actually a good fun romp of a musical. Kind of harkens back to Grease, like the Grease type musicals, Little Shop of Horrors, that type of stuff. But and yeah, I got my Bronze Fonz poster signed by everybody. I wish I could somehow find a way to get Ron Howard to sign that poster. I just don't know how. I'd even be willing to like send it in, mail it out or something. I just don't know how to do that. I know there's people that if they want like a famous person's autograph, they find like an address or something, or a PO box to send it to. But then I hear stories of like sometimes it never gets returned, or it takes like months. I don't know. So I'm kind of scared to take something that is kind of a prized possession of mine. Having all these signatures from Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley, and like parting with it. I'd rather like walk into what is Ron Howard and what's the other guy's name? Grazer, his partner. I don't know. Imagine Entertainment, I think, is their company. I'd rather walk into Imagine Entertainment's offices with it and be like, "Is Mr. Howard in? I would like my poster signed, please." And then if they're like, "Well, Mr. Howard is in Botswana filming something. He's not expected to return for 2 months." I'll be like, "I'll wait." I'll wait right here for 2 months. That's how bad I kind of want my poster signed. But have you ever met anybody famous?
Oh, let's see. Famous wise, I mean, I've seen musicians and stuff, but I've never actually met anybody famous.
Never met anybody famous.
Nope.
So, no, you know what? Technically you did. And it might be the only time you did, because it was with me. So if you remember correctly, this goes back all the way to probably 1997. Hold on a second. Let me look something up. But there was a band, and their name was Tonic. And they're a 90s band formed in 1993. The lead singer was Emerson Hart. and was co-founded by Jeff Russo. They had an album that came out, and this is what I'm trying to look up when it came out exactly. But they had 2 hits from this album. If You Could Only See, and I think Lemon Parade. Oh, the album's called Lemon Parade, 1996. So in 1996, I won tickets to go see them in concert. But before the concert, there was a meet and greet at the radio station, and you came with me.
Oh, yep, Paul. I do remember that. I still have the CD.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Yep.
So
that's right.
3 of the 4 guys showed up because Emerson actually had the flu. And so 3 of the 4 guys showed up. Emerson, the show still, they still did the show, but he had to rest so that he could do the show. So Emerson Hart did not show up at the radio station. But yes, so technically you met a few, well, semi-famous people. Jeff Russo is probably a little bit more famous than the other 2. I don't even know the other 2 guys' names, but he has gone on to work on television shows like Snowfall, Fargo, Star Trek Picard, Legion, Star Trek Discovery. Oh, wow. Yeah, so he does a lot of music for a lot of popular television shows right now. So Jeff Russo, I don't know if Tonic is still around or if he's even still in it, but yeah, that's what he does now as a composer. So
wow.
So yes, there you go. Jeff Russo, television composer. Yeah, I've had my fair share of run-ins with famous people. And I still, I completely cherish the fact that I got to shake hands and take a picture with Christopher Lloyd. That'll always be probably one of my favorites. The wrestler Edge. That was cool to meet him. He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and of course Claudio Sanchez from Coheed and Cambria, who I I shook him down at Mayfair Mall in an Apple store. I'm like, I can't mistake that hair that guy's got. That's got to be Claudio Sanchez, especially since they were doing a show that night. So I kind of was just like tapped him on the show. I'm like, excuse me, sir. Like, well, how old was I? Like 30 or something. Excuse me, sir. Are you Claudio from Coheed and Cambria? He's like, well, yes, I am. I'm like, oh my God, can I take a picture? Look, I got your tattoo. And I'm like, I felt like a complete moron, but yeah, famous people, I have done pretty good meeting famous people. And then there was, gosh, I went to the Final Four in Tampa back in 1998 with Sean, and there was a lot of famous people at the Final Four games. I saw Kevin Costner and Sinbad just walking down the hall, but like I didn't bother them. Nobody was bothering them. They were just walking, just normal people, and it's just like, hey, that's Kevin Costner, and you just let it happen. You just kind of let something like that go, But yeah, famous people, it's kind of a taboo because it's like you don't know if you should be bothering them or not, And also, like, who knows, TJ? You might have bumped into famous people and not knowing it, because sometimes they don't even look like in real life. They don't look like how you see them on film. So I don't know. Does anybody ever come up to you and tell you look like Matthew McConaughey?
No, I actually have had somebody tell me I look like Woody Harrelson.
Oh, Woody Harrelson. Yeah, that's another one, or maybe a combination of the two. Did anybody ever ask you for an autograph?
Unfortunately, no.
I walked into a Subway once, probably, I don't know, 13 years ago. I'm not sure. And I ordered my sandwich, and I get to the end of the counter, and the girl that's checking me out, who made my sandwich and is taking my money, she's like, are you no, never mind. I'm like, what? I was like so confused. Like, what are you trying to spit out? Like, I'm like, what do you want? you know? And I'm like, just ask me, am I what? And then she goes, are you Corey Hart from the Milwaukee Brewers?
No.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you not know what Corey Hart looks? I look nothing
Wow.
nothing like Corey Hart, except that I was tall and I was a little bit slimmer back then. I'm like, and I think maybe I had longer hair and it wasn't gray back then. But I'm like, no, I'm not Corey Hart from the Milwaukee Brewers. I think if I was, I could afford a little bit better food than fucking Subway.
Yes.
So, but that's only that. And somebody once told me in high school that I had Jay Leno's chin, uh, which I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
Well, Jay Leno is famous doing that. Was it the Tonight Show that he does?
He hasn't done the Tonight Show in years. Last I heard, he was doing it's called To Tell the Truth or something, like a kind of like a rehash of the old game show. I don't know. I don't like Jay Leno. I don't watch anything he does, but I think he was doing like a game show or something. And then of course I think he does like classic car videos or something. I don't know. He's got like a shit ton of cars. I'll give the guy that much credit. He's got some nice fucking cars. That guy's got some awesome cars. But yeah, I don't care. I don't care about Jay Leno. And speaking of cars, and we were talking about gas. So I guess as we record this, the news broke that the White House has now sanctioned Russia on the 1% of the oil imports that we get from them. So now we're not getting any gas from Russia. That measly, paltry 1% do expect gas prices to rise some more because of that.
How much do you think they're going to rise?
Well, here's all right. So here's some insight from a former gas station owner. I hear talk that, so yeah, gas has gone up like 60 cents in the last week on average or something. And that's like a record increase. And we're going to see by the end of March, record prices, probably national average, like at $4.29 a gallon or something like that. But if it does any more climbing between the end of March and the end of May, and usually when you get to Memorial Day, that's like the cutoff. Like as gas prices go up at Memorial Day, that's when it stops. And then it kind of just crests and it just sits there and at a plateau through summer. It usually stays about that price. And then in the fall, it starts dropping. And so I heard that it could get up to anywhere between $4.30 and $4.50 by the end of May. But at the rate we're going and now cutting the 1% supply off from Russia, I just don't see it stopping. I personally, unless we start lifting embargoes from other countries like Venezuela, for example, Iran, and start getting some more, we'll call it regional. There's a lot of regional facilities that have reserves that just aren't being tapped into. So the administration needs to start tapping into those reserves. They need to start lifting embargoes from other countries and start kind of depending upon their oil, even though Venezuela is, I mean, you talk about human rights issues. I mean, it's giving Venezuela our money for their oil is not going to help their people, which sucks. But I don't know. I can't see it stalling out between $4.30 and $4.50 a gallon. I have a feeling it's going to get up to at least $5 national average. And I think that we could ride that $5 through summer, but it's not going to drop as fast in the fall either. I think it'll probably stay that way. I'm going to You know what? I'm going to say Thanksgiving. I think we're going to see $5 through Thanksgiving. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping something changes. I'm hoping there's some kind of relief from the Biden administration, that they figure out, what to do, because this, coupled with the obvious inflation, uh, and as we are exiting COVID, finally, people are going to want to get out, and this is not good. This is not going to help people get out at all. I mean, our trip to we were going to go to New York, and then we decided we are going to go to Tennessee instead, to the Smoky Mountains, to Gatlinburg and stuff like that. At this point, I can't wait for my bonus to come in to book a flight. I'd have to book the flight now, I think, while prices are still relatively cheap. But yeah, geez, obviously a plane ticket is going to skyrocket as well. So that we might not be going,
yeah, because of course the gas prices are going to go up, which means fuel costs for the airplanes, and then they're going to reflect that on consumers.
Yep. And if you think that, car rental places are going to drop their prices to help consumers, no. I mean, car rental prices have been pretty astronomical for like the better part of a year now. And that was an effect of COVID. And I think they're going to stick that way. And it's just bad. But I mean, the thing is like a lot of the reasons why a barrel of crude oil right now, the price is as high as it is because of fear. There is no supply issue. I mean, and like I said, we've got reserves. They're just not being tapped into. It's just a fear worldwide. And therefore that drives it up, and which is stupid and really doesn't make any sense. And like I said, we only depended upon 1% of Russia's oil. And but gas was already going up before the war on Ukraine. This just, obviously made matters worse. I think we were at, before it started going up like crazy. Yeah, we were at like about $2.19 a gallon, or I mean, $3.19 a gallon, and that's pretty high. I mean, that's pretty high already. So, and now it's like $3.89 around here. Some gas stations have it for $3.99. But the gas station owners too, that's the thing, there's like a pact. And so anybody that listens to this, I'm going to let a secret out, because you don't hear this a lot. It's gas station owners have this information, and they just don't go around telling everybody this, because I mean, this podcast isn't like huge. It doesn't reach a lot of people, at least not yet, but it reaches like a handful every episode that comes out. And if it could spread, if this information could spread, great. But gas station owners don't even, like the employees that work there, even sometimes like the managers don't even know this. So, when they wake up in the morning and the price of a barrel of crude oil has gone up, they're going to their computers and they're jacking up the price outside on the pumps and on their sign. And it's like, they know that the average consumer who goes and buys gas is a moron. Like, they have no idea how it works. They know that people like you and Heather and Candace and everybody else out there, our parents and whatever, that if they hear that gas went up in the morning, then they can expect the gas at the gas station to go up. However, you think about it, that gas that's in the ground underneath the gas station in those tanks is not affected by the price at 5 o'clock in the morning of a crude oil, of a barrel of crude oil. It's already been paid for prior to the increase. So the gas station owners are jacking up the price because they know everybody out there that buys gas is stupid, when there's no need to jack up the price, at least not until they pay for those tanks to get filled. And when they get that bill, that is the price that they're paying. Then they can jack it up. And so they do this. And, on the weekends, on a Saturday and Sunday, when you wake up, there is no, I mean, there wasn't when I did it. I'm not paying attention right now, but there's no, you don't wake up on a Saturday and Sunday and about a barrel of crude oil goes up. It's kind of like the stock market. It just doesn't work on the weekends. So if a gas station jacks up a price on a weekend, it could potentially be because they didn't do it the Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday before. But if they were jacking up the gas on a Wednesday or Thursday and Friday, and then they also jack it up on a Saturday or Sunday, there's really truly no reason for them to jack it up, because gas doesn't go up on a weekend. And so a gas station should not raise their prices on a weekend, even though I've been seeing it around here. I got gas Saturday morning for $3.59 a gallon. And then I went to the gym, drove by the same gas station an hour later, they jacked it up 20 cents. That's uncalled for. And then when the gas drops, when the barrel of crude oil, the price of that drops, do you think the gas station owners are going to just go out there and go to their machines and drop the prices at the gas station?
Nope.
Because now what they got in the ground is probably higher. They paid higher for that than what the current price of a barrel of crude oil is. So they're going to sit and they're going to wait on that high price until they need more gas pumped into those tanks. So that's where they fuck you over. They raise it when they don't have to raise it. And then they don't lower it, because technically they really shouldn't lower it. But then that's where they really screw you. Like, it should be give and take. Like, if you're going to raise the price at the pump because that's how much the barrel is that morning, even though you didn't pay that price, then when the gas goes down, if you're going to raise it, when the gas goes down, you should also lower it, because it makes no sense for you to do one and not the other. So that's
very true.
And so gas station owners, operators aren't going to go around telling people that kind of shit, because it looks bad. It's bad. And gas station owners, operators, they don't make money on gas. I'll give them that. I mean, I've been there. There's no money to be made on gas. It's convenience or service or anything like that. If there's a restaurant or a car wash on site, that's where they make their money. They don't make it on gas. And then in Wisconsin, it's even tougher, because we got the minimum markup law, which was supposed to be abolished, and it never was. So it's even tighter in Wisconsin. So, but you know what? Overall, like, what does it fucking matter? And that's kind of like one of the things that I struggled with for the year and a half that I operated the gas station was, you got the competition around the area too, and you kind of watched what they were doing. And, I was telling Hank, our former friend, if you will, he hasn't been very receptive to remaining in touch, but, and also my former partner in the business. That was one of my things that I told him, like, part of me, I'm kind of a nice guy, right? And I kind of feel bad for people, and I don't want to. I felt like a dick knowing that that's what gas station owners did with the prices, and I didn't want to like wake up and go to work on a Tuesday and see that gas, because when we were doing it, it was up like $4 a gallon. That was the last time it was high, like between 2005 to 2008. It was always between like $3 and $4. So I was in that window. And so like, it was tough, and I'm like, I don't want to, just because I wake up on a Tuesday and gas went up, or the price of the crude oil went up, I don't want to go and change our prices. Like, we didn't pay that price. Like, I don't want to do that to people. And so, we had a gas station like practically next door from where we were, and he could go out and but it made us look good, because then he could go out and jack up his price like most gas station owners do when that happens. And then I would tell Hank, let's just sit firm for like 2 days. Or even when we get our next load in. And we'll be cheaper by like 5, 10, maybe even 15 cents for 2 or 3 days. And we're still going to be fine because the price that we're at now is reflective of the price that we paid when we got our tanks filled. So sometimes it worked, but sometimes, Hank was just like, no, just change it, like, all right. But for the most part, we waited a while. And then the guy down the hill, he started watching us and waiting for us. So when it got to the point where like 2 days would go by and he actually wasn't raising his price because he caught on that we were being competitive, that we would not jack up our price for like 2 or 3 days sometimes. So then he started waiting, and then that bothered Hank, and Hank would be like, just go out there, just go out. But back and then we could change the pump from the inside, but we had the manual board outside with the plastic numbers, and you had to use like a big magnet on a stick. So I had to go out there and manually change the board. So Hank would just be like, yeah, just change it. Just like, we can't wait for him to make a move anymore. So it's like, it's tough. It's tough. But TJ, you don't have to deal with stuff like that. You don't have to deal with making the hard decisions at work, right?
No, I don't. Pretty much go in, do my job, and go home.
Yeah. So what else is new, TJ? What else is going on? Have you been starting to get out a little bit more with COVID easing up?
Oh, yes, I have. Actually, let's see. I have actually been I've been going to more restaurants and stuff lately. Dexter's been getting a lot more car rides out. Weather's starting to get a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be going to some movies and stuff. So yeah, now that the COVID is finally starting to subside, and we are starting to get out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. What restaurant do you guys like to go to the most?
Probably one. It's called I can't think of the name of it, but there's like a little family restaurant over here that we enjoy going to.
Is it?
It's kind of like a family table.
Is it on Capitol?
Yes, it is. It's kind of like a Greek. It's like a Greek restaurant, like Family Table was.
Is it Maxim's?
Maxim's, that's it.
Yeah, Maxim's. Yeah, we have a Maxim's out here by us in O'Connell Walk. It's in an old train station, which is kind of cool, but
it's neat.
Yeah, it's kind of got cool decor, a bunch of train stuff on the inside. Yeah, we like Maxim's. We were going there pretty much every weekend for breakfast. And then we tried going there for like lunch or dinner once, and it was okay for lunch and dinner. But their breakfasts are pretty good. But we haven't been there in a while. We keep going to like these like new places, like, oh, let's try this. And like, even though we have favorites, we have like a favorite breakfast spot in Delafield that's like a number one breakfast spot, and then Maxim's would be like number two. And then if you want like really good like pancakes and French toast and stuff, there's a place called Honeyberry that's in Brookfield, and they're a chain, but they're so good. But that's if like you don't want, they got good eggs Benedict as well. I love a good eggs Benedict. That kind of, if a place can make a good eggs Benedict, then I pretty much love that place. And the place in Delafield makes killer ones. But yeah, so we got our favorites, and then like even just the other weekend, we decided to go to like a tiny little cafe out in Hartford that we'd never been to. And it was okay. It was like your typical diner. It kind of had like the counter seating, with the stools. And she likes those places, like the greasy spoon type place.
Okay.
And you just, order a typical breakfast of, scrambled eggs and hash browns and bacon and toast, and get your coffee. And that's really it. And it's nothing fancy. It's kind of still, it's half the price of a Maxim's or a Honeyberry or whatever. But so it's nothing special. It was pretty good. But probably not one of my top favorites. But that's what we do is there's so much good food out there. Maxim's is definitely one of them. I didn't care. Like I said, I didn't care for their dinner. I don't even remember what I had. Chicken tenders, maybe, or something. Chicken fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was all right, but yeah, they have what they do really well. Do you usually go there for breakfast or lunch, or what what meal do you go?
Usually breakfast.
They have, I don't know if you had it yet, but they have a Euro skillet. Have you had that yet?
No, I haven't. I'm not
Oh.
actually. I'm not too big into the Euro meat.
You're not big into Euro meat.
Nope, not big into Euro meat.
I am not your friend anymore. Goodbye, sir. Yeah, I like Greek and Middle Eastern halal type of cuisine. It's one of my favorites. They have I think they have a chorizo skillet and a chorizo burrito, maybe. Have you had those?
I have had the chorizo skillet. That's excellent.
Yes. That's the other good thing they do. And their eggs benedict is pretty good as well. I'm starting to get hungry. God damn it. So yeah, we're starting to get out more too. We're going to a show this Friday night. It's some twin. I don't know how to explain them. I've never even heard of them. They play electric violins or something, and they're black guys. They're twins, and they're from some other country or something. We're going to that. Of course, we've been going out for fish fries and stuff like that, making trips for out to specific places for New York style pizza.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And then there's concerts are starting to come back around. So there's Alanis Morissette and Garbage were just announced for this, not during Summerfest, but at the amphitheater on the Summerfest grounds. Gonna have to get some tickets for that because I'm still a pretty big Alanis Morissette fan. And it's been a while since I listened to Garbage, but yeah, I like Alanis Morissette. I like her music, always have. So, and it's been a while since I've seen her. Woodstock '99, I think, was the last time I saw Alanis Morissette.
Long time ago.
Yeah, and then I also saw her at Lilith Fair, which, yes, I'll admit, I went to Lilith Fair. Did you go to Lilith Fair with us, or was that just?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did, Sarah McLachlan.
Yep.
And
I went to
Paula Cole, Alanis Morissette. Who else was there? My gosh, I'm trying to think of all the female. Oh, Meredith Brooks.
Yep, I remember
her. She was the bitch. She had the bitch song.
Yep.
Yeah, Lilith Fair. Wow, can't believe we did that.
Man, Paul, I can't believe how long ago that was.
Yeah. So I want to go to that. Seether is playing Waukesha County Fair, and then State Fair, which we went to State Fair last year. I mean, it was the first. They had it open last year. Yeah, we went last year. But I want to go see the Happy Together tour, which is like some classic 60s and 70s bands or musicians that come together and for a night and play some rock and oldies. So I don't see a lot of those type of shows. I think it'd be good to get out and see something like that. So it's time to get back into the swing of things, TJ.
Yep. Yeah. Start doing all the stuff we did before COVID hit.
So, but we need to find probably something for all of us to go out and do this summer. That'd probably be a nice thing.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah. So we'll have to keep our eyes on the events. And speaking of eyes, TJ, I think it's time to wrap up this episode of the Good for Nothing podcast. Do you have anything else you want to share? Any kind of thoughts as we leave?
Well, as we leave this episode, my only thought is I can't wait till the warmer weather.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. We just got to get through this weird ass March we're having around here where it can't decide what the fuck to do. Am I going to be 60 or am I going to be 20 with 4 inches of snow? So,
I know it's one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, right around the corner. Before you know it, we'll be going out in shorts and t-shirts once again. But that's going to do it for another episode of the Good for Nothing podcast, brought to you by Potation Rotation. TJ, thanks as always.
You're welcome, Paul.
And to everyone out there, if you want to email us about anything you heard today or have an episode suggestion, please email potationrotation@gmail.com. You can visit us at potationrotation.com for our social media links to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The merch shop is there as well. And of course, links to our gaming reviews and vlog channels on YouTube. Please don't forget to leave a rating for us. It would mean a lot, and we appreciate you listening. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.